Hey, this is Alan Giese with Ride to Awareness. Out on a training ride this morning in beautiful Florida Keys. It's gorgeous weather today. Great place to be in December. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what makes a touring bike today. So one point I want to make right at the beginning of this is that you can tour on literally any kind of bike you want. If it's comfortable for you and it's working for you, then go with that. So you might be looking for a bike that's specially crafted just for touring. So what kind of components go into a bike like that? So let's talk about the frame on a touring bike. What's it going to be made out of? That might be different. Now, for all you road bikers out there, you're always looking for the lightest possible frame, maybe a carbon frame. A touring bike, that may not be such a great idea because you're going to be putting a lot of weight on the bike, and lightness doesn't always, or a light frame doesn't always equate to strength. And so what you'll find with many touring bikes is that they're made out of chromoly steel. The bike I ride is a Surly, and it's made by a company called Surly, and it is a chromoly steel bike, which I find works very well. It's still fairly light, but it's extremely strong and can handle the kind of weight that you put on it when you're fully loaded with all your panniers and your gear. Now on the frame, you're going to find that there's going to be some differences in how the bike's constructed. For instance, the chain stays are going to be a little bit longer than your typical road bike, for example. Again, that's to make the bike a little bit more comfortable when it's heavily weighted with all that gear. So you notice a little bit larger space here than you would on a road bike. This wheel would be a little bit closer. Another difference you'll find will be the number of braze-ons that'll be attached to the frame, so you can attach more gear and racks and so on. So like you've got braze-ons right here, and down here they're specially designed to hold a strong rear rack. Got your regular water bottle braze-ons there, but there's also two more under here, so you can add actually a third water bottle under there, which is a little unusual. See braze-ons on the fork right here to attach a front pannier without having to have any additional clips. You got braze-ons down there as well. So let's talk about the wheels. Now you have to accommodate a lot of weight, so you're going to want stronger, a little bit beefier tires and wheels. So instead of the thin 18 to 22 centimeter tires you're going to see, or wheels you're going to see on a road bike, you're going to see more like 28 to 32 centimeter wide wheels on a touring bike. Also take a look at the number of spokes that you'll see, and that this particular wheel has 36 spokes to really accommodate a fair amount of weight, where typically you'll see something in the mid-20s, maybe 24 to 28 spokes on a road bike, or sometimes as few as maybe even a dozen or 14. Another difference you'll find on a lot of touring bikes are the gear shifters. These are bar end shifters, as opposed to shifters that would be part of the brake component, or as older bikes you used to see shifters down in the frame. So the bar end shifters tend to be, they're very simple mechanisms. They don't tend to break down, and if they do, they're fairly easy to fix. Where when you have the mechanisms that are inside the brake handle, those are a little bit more difficult to fix, and when you're out on the road, you might find yourself without brakes. Also, the brakes themselves are very simple brakes, very simple cantilevered brakes that, again, they're very easy to repair should you have a problem out on the road. Another thing you'll find a little bit unique on a touring bike is the gearing. For example, and I apologize for how horribly dirty my bike is right now. I've been riding a lot down here in the Keys. But the lowest gear on the front crank is very, very small. You'll see that gear wheel is very teeny. And on the back, you'll notice that the back gear, or the largest piece on the sprocket, is really quite large. So that gives you a tremendous amount of torque. So as you're able to pull yourself up very, very steep hills with all that weight on your bike. So that's pretty much the difference between a touring bike and what you'll find in road bikes and other bikes out there. But again, any bike that you use, if it's working, stay with it if you're comfortable with it. So it's too pretty a day to be sitting here talking to you. I'm going to take off and enjoy this beautiful day on my ride. Please visit our site at ridetoawareness.org and join our ride. See you soon.